Yes, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and welcome wherever you are in the world once again. Back to the channel with me, Disco, coming at you. Another set of live beer reviews from in front of the cans and bowls here on the bar. Oh, I'm still perennially calling, nobody will get that one, calling the Disco Arms. A bit of a hodgepodge of a stream tonight because I'm not prepared. Threw it together this morning really quickly and then went out to work and didn't get a chance to do any other setup, so no intro, never mind. Doesn't really matter because nobody will watch it. But I've just rushed in from work. I haven't even a chance to change my top, which, being it's a stream of Cornish beers, if there are any Cornishmen watching who are averse to a Devon club being in a Cornish stream, but there are a bunch of Cornish supporters of Argyle, so it's Cornish adjacent anyway. It's the next county along. It's all West Country. I'm sort of not Cornish myself nor Devonian, but I feel a slight honorary Cornishman for the amount of time I spent down there back in the day, and the amount of Cornish beers I would have drunk, and slightly Devonian as well. But yeah, sorry about that. Didn't have a chance to change my shirt. Running hella late. Big old brew day today. I was brewing a stout, so it took a little while on the transfer, but we got there in the end, all good. And then I rushed back, and haven't done any of the setup. I normally do, haven't chucked all the stuff out, so I've no idea if anybody's actually going to see. I haven't even got the camera set up properly. That's terrible. It's not level. It's not level at all. I rushed it. I've put my banners up. Excuse me. So until anybody gets here, let's dive straight into the first beer. I've got to rush through it a little bit today as well because I'm meant to be playing darts at 10 o'clock. So we'll see how that goes. But let's head straight into beer number one. Please, no, I forgot that. Beer number one, please. And the first beer today from Cornwall is a brewery. And in fact, a couple of these breweries are probably breweries that maybe nobody else has ever heard of. I only have because I specifically went shopping for Cornish beers, not these ones particularly. But I found these breweries. This one's called a Mason Brewing. And Mason Brewing. I've got to cue that up as well. So we'll do that on the verbals. 3 Mile Stone, Cornwall. Yeah, so Mason apparently owned 3 Mile Stone. I meant to look this up, make it look like I knew what I was talking about. I looked it up there. But yeah, just outside of Truro. I picked these up from actually in a Truro, a place called Red Elephant Beer Shop. One I've featured several times, talked about a lot. And in fact, got some beers from them yesterday. More about that later. Let's get this beer into a glass. I'll do the photograph and see what we get from DP Cornwall. This one I've actually got in before Christmas. I got them in because I was getting them in for pre-football streams, fun enough, with Argyle, because I've still struggled to find getting any beers out of Devon and certainly none out of Plymouth. And as a Cornish pole shop, Red Elephant don't appear to do any Devonian Devon beers. So I stuck with Cornwall, and I've had some decent beers. Apart from the obvious, of course. A couple of obvious ones from Cornwall. More about that later. I'm just going to step across and do the photograph, put it in the fuller's glass for no apparent reason. It was just the first one of that shape. that came along. Looks like most of the Mason beers have that big M on, and then clear lettering, clear branding, with the beer name, the beer style, and the percentage on. So that obviously pleases me. I'm not a big fan of talking about branding, but when they do it right like that, I think it kind of shows. It just makes it easier for kind of customer experience, or customers like me that like all the details. That's to know about the beers. That's what this stream is kind of for, really. I like to, I like to know about beers. I like to talk about beers, and hope anybody watching along does as well. If you're watching along, let me know what you're drinking. If you are on a Thursday, it's almost the weekend, so time for a beer. I say I certainly need a beer. After a long old day at work. Mind you, I had a couple after work anyway, but that's another video. But yeah, it's called Love Letter, straight from my heart. Let's put that down. Yeah, Love Letter, straight from my heart. 4.4% hazy pale. What is the last? And a fair amount of haze on it, and a nice, fairly bubbly, quite tight white head. Good head development. Looks like it's going to be kind of creamy and stuff like that. Yeah, if you're watching along, do let us know what you're drinking, if anything else. We're in hooks. As always, Henry, thanks for popping in and clicking the like button. Anybody watching after the event, they're down there somewhere. If you're on a laptop, not quite sure where they are, on mobile. But yeah, they're there somewhere. Click like and subscribe. It all helps out. Mr. Wilson, as ever, thank you very much indeed for popping in. I hope you're having a great week full of beery goodnesses. I imagine you are back checking out some more Wetherspoons. I was going to pop into Spoons this evening on the way home from work. I thought I'd have plenty of time, a couple of pints, and then get this stream done, but I just didn't have a chance. Let's say late out of work, I gave up. So I might try that tomorrow, if possible, if I get a chance. You never know. No work tomorrow, so I call it working from home. Going to the pub, I call it research, But yeah, no Wetherspoons today. Instead, St.Pirans Day, the patron saint of Cornwall. I'm not all that big on saints and the religious kind of aspect of it, but seeing as I did St. Andrew's Day beers and I did St. David's Day beers, and St.Pirans Day is one I always note being that kind of, I'm not quite honorary Cornishman, self-appointed honorary Cornishman, but know a lot of Cornishmen like I do, so I kind of, I know I like a theme and I've got the Cornish beers in, so I thought I might as well do it. Right, let's check this one out. Oh, nice. Well, as it looks in the glass, nice kind of orange, juicy kind of orangey yellow note with that nice kind of fluffy head. Big tropical notes on the aroma. Not getting too much on the grapefruit, which is a good thing, obviously, as you know, for me. Feels like a little bit of orange juice there on the nose and all. Feels good going into it. Let's check this out. Cheers and enjoy the beers. Happy St. Pirans Day. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Absolutely solid hazy pale ale. Got kind of medium bulk to the body with the haze. Nothing too striking on that hop note. That's good. Definitely mostly tropical. No dankness, no pineness. Nice fruity, juicy little number. Fairly light. Yeah, solid. Mr. Wilson, as expected, I think it's in Wetherspoons on the Stew Brew Exam Room Tiers. Lovely maple pecan stout. I saw a little story about that on Instagram. I think it was on Instagram or somewhere. Saw a little story. Stew Brew is like a brewing club in a university, or so it's basically a bunch of brewers, and they've obviously done really well and got some stuff out locally up in Newcastle. And so much so that Wetherspoons contacted them and said, "Oh, we'd love to do something for the for the beer festival coming up." And they were like, "Yeah, okay. How much would you need?" And apparently, Wetherspoons went, "We want 400 casks," and we're like, "Yeah, that's going to be a bit push testing on our equipment. It'll take us like 3 years to get that out." So apparently they brewed it at St Austell, funnily enough, down in Cornwall. Coincidentally, as we're talking about St Austell. I didn't see that one on my nearest Wetherspoons, but I'm really, really keen to try that one. Obviously, maple pecan stout, obviously, kind of well in my ballroom. Ballroom? Wheelhouse. Why am I thinking of ballrooms? Don't know. Anyway, yeah, exam room tears. Yeah, so looking forward to seeing if I get that one. I did think I was going to do some kind of challenge of trying to do all 30, but I think time is going to be against me. I've got so much other things to do, and I've missed 2 days already. So I couldn't do it Wednesday. So I was driving to work fairly late out of them. And today I was going to do a couple. But we'll see what we can do tomorrow lunchtime, I think. Don't really need all afternoon in the pub or outside the pub. It's going to be a nice day, hopefully, tomorrow. So I might do a little beer garden, maybe try and get some footage, and then we'll see what happens next week. I've got plenty to do next week. As well. We shall see how it goes. But yeah, this one's going down nice. I say I don't always gravitate to hazy pale ales, just in case, but I do prefer a hazy pale ale because you're going to get that little bit of lightness. I think there's some most tropical, probably Antipodean hops in there. I'm not entirely sure. I did pick it out because it was 4.4% hazy. We've got one on the bar, so I'm kind of interested in the comparison. Let's see what they say. So Mason Brewer, brewed in the heart of Cornwall, we're a family-run brewery creating high-quality, approachable beer. Our tap room in 3 Milestone, Cornwall reflects that ethos with a nod to tradition. It's an inviting space where you can meet, reconnect, and explore, etc. Right, here we go. Inspired by the only band ever the only band ever. Don't know what the band is, but never mind. We've created a crushable, hazy, hop-forward pale ale. A soft, pillowy malt base layered with oats, excellent, and wheat set the stage for a symphony of lemon, dank tropical fruits, and juicy grapefruit flavours. Well, now, I did get this in before Christmas. Let's have a little check. This is a result of countless hours honing our craft. This is a 4.4% love letter straight from our heart. Don't know what the band is. Love letter? Or is that a song that I'm missing? Let's have a look. Oh, okay, well, that would explain it. This beer is best before November 2025. I don't know when I picked this up. Never mind. I don't think I picked it up in much before November. So yeah. So it's got some age on it, which is good for me because I probably wouldn't want to drink it fresh anyway. If they're talking about grapefruit, I didn't notice the bit they said about grapefruit. Obviously, I did have a little look. Don't know what the hops actually are. Let's see if we can find out. Yeah, it doesn't say. Okay, a little disappointed. Love Letter is a regional winner at the Indie Beer UK Southwest Awards. See, if I'd had time, I would have checked it out and found out maybe. But anyway, yeah, so I don't know what they are, but they are nice and juicy and fruity. There is plenty of tropical notes going on there. I think much fresher, much greener. Those grapefruit would come through a little bit more, but I'm not detecting that much. Never mind. 2018. So 4 years of homebrew knowledge. Brewhouse and Kitchen in Lichfield. Nice. So we relocated to Cornwall in 2020. Head brewer at Driftwood Spas Brewery in St.Pirans. I've heard that, but I don't know anything about them at all. Started in 2023. Brewer in 2024. So, yeah. I could go through all the cans on the store, or better still, I'll just show you the cans because they've just released their web shop. So I picked up one of everything apart from this one. I probably should have picked one of these up actually. Bear with me a second, we'll have a quick look. I've got to get the box out. So yeah, I only picked up a small order, mostly because I'm so far behind on beer reviews. I didn't actually need another half a dozen, but I did it anyway. So yeah, see what we got. So Cozy Season, a plum and vanilla sour at 6.4%. Again, I've been trying not to do too many sours, but I like the sound of that one. Bit of fruitiness going on there. Right, this is the reason that I got this one. I see this because of following Mason, because of following Red Elephant, a Cookie Queen, a Black Forest Gatto Stout at 6.2%. Now I know there's loads of Gattos, Black Forest Gatto Stouts about at the moment, but I don't know, this one just seemed to kind of appeal. They did a really good thing. It's like a cafe that does these really good Black Forest kind of cookies, I think they are. They looked really appealing as well, but being down in Cornwall, I couldn't get any of them. And I kept looking at it, and then in the end, I couldn't sort of get them. Every time I went to Red Elephant, they'd run out. And then I saw Mason are doing their own web shop, so I thought, right, I'll just get an order in, see what we got, and then pick the other stuff up there. 5.5% hazy IPA Zeitgeist. Got a bit different on the cans on these two. Big M, but it's there showing anyway. Let me know which one of these you fancy, if these any good. Took a bit of a gamble on this one called Wanderlust. 6.2% New England IPA. Sorry, 6% New England IPA. It's his first expedition leap. I'm not sure what that means. But I did have a brief look on the hop lineup when I ordered it, and it didn't seem too bad, so it might be okay. A 5% Bavarian lager, Alpenglow. Everyone brewery's pretty much got to have a lager. That should be all right. Oh yeah, picked up another Black Forest Gatto Stout. So yeah, small order. Obviously trying to support as best I can to get an order out, but I'm looking forward to each of those. I may or may not do reviews on them. Certainly want to get the Black Forest Stout in soon, either here or over on the Instagram reviews. I do a lot more written stuff on Instagram. Also under Just Disco Beer Reviews. But yeah, so that's my little order from Mason. I like to do unboxing because it's something to talk about. Yeah, so little mix 6-pack, very good value. I see the prices on there. Yeah, around about the £5 mark. Someone just under, some just over, which and it was only £5 on delivery, which is quite good. How they got that sorted and a first courier drop, I don't know, but yeah, I probably should have picked up one of these. I didn't realise it was, crikey, that's now 2 months, 3 months out of date. Nominally, we all know this out of date thing is nominal. I don't mind being beers past their best before, because for me, they're still best because they're still perfectly drinkable. Yeah, you're meant to drink hazy pale ales, with the hop content. The fresher the better, because it gets that hop note, but I don't like that hop note that much, so I'm fine with aging a beer, shall we call it? I don't know. Yeah. But it's an easy drinking. And a day like today, outside in the afternoon, when there's a bit of heat in the sun, that's an absolute refresher. Absolute juicy banger beer. There's a little bit more dankness coming there now. That grapefruit's creeping in a little bit around the back end. Not testingly so, but a really well put together pale ale. I would love to know the hops. I'm fairly certain there's something New Zealandish in there. It definitely doesn't say it, does it? Yeah, it just says, yeah, it's not in the list. Never mind. I could ask him, I'd just message him and say what it is, or I could find out somewhere. But yeah, there we go. Love letter, straight from the heart. Mason Brewing in just outside Truro in Cornwall. Jolly solid pale ale. You tell it's quite good. I smashed it down fairly quick. So I'm intending to get through these fairly quickly, because I'm meant to be playing some darts on Zoom later. As I say, heavily bodged together stream. I always miss St.Pirans Day because I forget about it. I always think it's in February. It's not. It's, March 5th. There we go. Anybody got a beer on out there? Anybody apart from Mr. Wilson? We know he's on. I should imagine he'll be moving on to the next one very soon. After that maple pecan stout described as lovely. Anybody else got a beer on? Do let me know. I'll have to talk about beer endlessly, so, and possibly in far too much detail. Not that just knowing the hops is too much detail. I think that's about enough. But there you go. Ooh, bit of orange peel there. That's weird. You just get a little sparkle or something afterwards on the tongue. Worth a try. Yeah, superb. Don't knock this back because it's easy to do. There's no point. There's nothing else to like. Water profiles. Yeah, no, I did say that the other day. Water profile's great, but I don't think I need to know, and I wouldn't understand it anyway. Well remembered. Just the hops. Just let me know the hops. That'll do. Maybe the yeast. I'm not bothered about the yeast particularly for the most part. Yeast is yeast, and it does the job. Right, let's smash this back because I can. Still a fair amount of lacing on the glass. It's a prehistoric dinosaur head there. You see it? No. That's what it looks to me, right? Anyway, a good start. Jolly good beers from Masons. I'm looking forward now to get into his other ones as well. So, cheers and enjoy the beers. Right then. So, moving swiftly on to beer number 2, please. Beer number 2. I didn't put these on. Didn't even get time to do the photograph today. I took the photograph, didn't get time to upload it, so you won't know exactly what's coming, will you? That's a good point. Yeah, let's have a guess. What do you think I've got? I haven't got necessarily the usual suspects. Certainly not with this one. It's a brewery I hadn't personally heard of, and I get that every week. There's at least one or two new breweries that somebody posts about, and that's also what I mean about the. I love seeing these random breweries that maybe don't get out so much. It's all very well. Like I said on Tuesday about doing, you know, your Track and your Beak and your Baron, and even to a certain extent Verdant, to a lot of extent Verdant. But yeah, it's all very well doing all the big guys. I like talking about the smaller, less well-known breweries from far-flung corners of the country, and this is kind of to that end. Raggy had one the other day. I can't remember who it was that Raggy had, but he did come up with a really random. I think because he'd been to Cornwall in the summer, so he picked up a couple of these lesser well-known breweries down there. But I like seeing it. Yeah, so this one is Treens Brewery. They are in right down the far end. It's a Truro postcode. They're in a place called Ponsanooth. Can't say I know it, but it's just outside of Truro. I thought it was Penzance, but yeah, Ponsanooth. That's a lovely part of the world and have lovely names, stuff like that as well. So, yeah, so no balance on this one, I'm afraid. Haven't yet worked out how to balance 500ml bottles, but let's get it out. Let's change the banner first of all so we know what we're talking about. I think I know what I was doing by now, but I'm in a bit of a rush today. Right, yeah, so Treens Brewery, it's called Resolve. It's 5.2% Cornish dark ale. I must admit, when I picked it up, I had belief that it was a stout, but a Cornish dark ale is a nice little transition from light to dark. See what we come out with. Well, that's very, very definitely a dark ale for sure. Obviously, put it in a tribute glass. It had to be a tribute coming out somewhere. I haven't got any tribute beers, but it's in the tribute pint glass. So we'll do the photograph anyway. No balance on it, obviously. Unlike the first one, if you've seen my can balances, go check them out. They'll be on Instagram at some point. I haven't put up the rest of the week's Mondays and Tuesdays can balances yet because just haven't had time. Well, I've had loads of time. I just haven't used it wisely. Well, that comes out pretty nice, I think. That works. Yeah, solid. Plug in the phone. So it's only on 50%, so I don't want it all disappear down the hole in the middle whilst the phone gives up. I think if you just saw that in a pint glass, you could be forgiven to a certain extent for thinking that it was a stout, maybe, or a porter. So I've lost. Where we are. There we go. Yeah, but it is nice and dark. Good initial head development. Dies off a little bit, but it's going to stick there. Let's see what we get. Yeah, Treens Brewery Resolve, 5.2% dark ale. Cheers. That's a solid dark ale maltiness on the nose there. Clear the palate a little bit. Yeah, nothing too outstanding, but I'm not expecting it to be like dark and malty like a stout necessarily, but it's a dark ale. Cheers, let's see what we get. Yeah, you got to be very careful when drinking beers like this. You look at it and think, oh, it must be a stout. And then you get a kind of not too a kind of medium-bodied kind of ale, and you think, oh, hang on, what am I thinking? I forget it's an ale, not a stout. But I tell you what, it's got quite a pack of flavours in there. There's burnt toast in there. There's raisins, and a kind of more kind of almost burnt toffee. It's definitely a lot of cinder toffee kind of note going on. It's very drinkable, but it's kind of it feels like one of those kind of almost a winter warmer kind of thing. There's no real kind of spice notes particularly, but there's a little kind of sort of edge to it, a little slightly spicy kind of, not quite peppery, but a little bit of kind of savouriness, like that burnt toast kind of note. It's a solid beer, very solid beer. Let's say dark ale. Let's see what they got to say on here. Let me look on the website. Oh no, hang on. See, on the front it said Cornish ale. What I looked up earlier said a Cornish dark ale. And then on the back here, it does say traditional stout. Full, rich and very dark. Deep roasted malt competes with dark chocolate and coffee, culminating in a smooth finish. Strong, dark, warming and brimming with flavour. This steadfast and wholesome beer is comfort food in a glass. Best before 03/2027. I'm obviously always very wary of saying about stouts being smooth and silky, because you have to remember it's not necessary to be smooth and bubbly and Guinness-like to be a stout. It's all about the malts. So I'm not quite sure what it is, but even though it's kind of my kind of thing, in theory, looks good and got. Yeah, it does. It did. Definitely very dark, more stout coloured than a dark ale. And I think I'm unfair in using the word thin. Thin associates with kind of watery, and it's not that. It's got that lightness of body that most people forget can be associated with a stout, me included. You can get ales, best bitters with some dark malt in them to make it a dark ale. But the bits and pieces I saw left me a bit confused. Yeah, you see, on the website, let's just put the thing in there. On the website there, it says, full, rich and very dark. True. This premium ale is brimming with flavour. Deep roasted malt competes with dark chocolate and coffee. See, that's a different write-up to what I've just read on the bottle. Yeah, I don't get masses of actual chocolate or coffee for that matter, apart from that kind of, slightly bitter edge of really dark chocolate, like, high percentage cocoa solid kind of dark chocolate. So I'm not getting that. There's very, very little sweetness in there. Maybe there is a bit of coffee in there, and I've said that. Make myself look stupid. Yeah, so really strange in ways I wasn't quite expecting. I say that burnt toast is that kind of where that kind of coffee note's going, rather than out and out coffee, rather than out and out. When I say chocolate, I always my head always goes to sweet chocolate, like milk chocolate. And this is, yeah, more malt heavy, kind of slightly bitter, slightly roasted, burnt roasted grains kind of note. Interesting. Possibly a dark. I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm just, yeah, a bit confused and a bit nonplussed. I don't know. It doesn't have to be a stout. It doesn't have to be a porter. It can just be a dark ale. And I'm intrigued. I'm interested, but I'm not quite sure it's hitting the mark for me. And that's really bad of me to say, because you see the lacing on there, perfectly well put together beer. Just, I don't know, that confusion comes through a little bit as to which one it is, whether it's a dark ale or whether it's a stout. I know there's a lot of crossover. Yeah, it's definitely got all the right flavours to be a stout. It's got all those right dark notes. And again, within that stout, you can have a variance of that depending on, obviously, this is not an adjunct beer, but even without adjuncts, you can have that wide range of flavours. I generally don't mind a burnt toast kind of note. It's almost too much in here, I would say. Let's have a quick look at the other beers. Sorry, I should be putting that way. Naughty, Mr. Wilson. Beer pronouns. Dark and warming, I think. Let's have a quick look. I was going to do that. Let's have a quick look on the website again and see what the other beers are like whilst I finish this one off. Let's start from the top. Classic, deep amber, malty, bitter. I get the impression there's a large amount of traditional kind of beers, kind of real ales, kind of best bitters going on this brewery. A crisp golden ale packed full of flavour, biscuit and cereal malt flavours, and a robust hop nose of citrus with a hint of spice. I mean, it's difficult to know with write-ups like that. Like a golden ale. Cloud Cuckoo is a warming winter ale, which is in our cellar to show a full and smooth ale. Full body, strong malty ale. Plum and soft fruit dominate. Smooth roasted finish. And then a special bitter, Krausek. I'm sure they had a stout as well. I'm sure I've seen another one that was a stout. Anyway, obviously, I imagine most of these are on cask as well, available. Probably see, yeah, one on cask too. Oh, that's right. I was looking at the cask stuff. That's my bad. But even so, yeah, a lot of these are in the bottle. Unless it's a dark ale in the bottle and a stout in cask. Surely not. I don't know. I picked this one up from Red Elephant in Truro. But these guys, they've got their own web shop. A smoky cocoa, 750ml bottle. Let's have a look at that. A collaboration with ourselves and Stuart Woodman's Wild Ales. Originally brewed by us, then matured for 10 months in wooden bourbon barrels with wild yeast and cacao nibs. It's because a change from our usual traditional style where they've gone all craft, but one we enjoy collaborating on. Harmonious blend of smokiness, chocolate, bourbon, whiskey, sourness, and funk. At £3.60 for a 750ml bottle is exceedingly good. It's fabulous. How on earth? Case resolved, 39 quid. So about £3, £3.10 a bottle, which is exceedingly good value again for a 500ml bottle. I have heard of Red Elephant, see if they've got any of that. I didn't see it on the website. I would definitely have picked one up. Yeah, that sounds good to me. I don't know about you guys. Bear with me a second. Here we go. I'm getting into it more as it warms slightly. It's got that kind of, yeah, dark malt. No, a little bit of coffee coming out a bit more there, maybe. A little bit of dark fruit. I don't know, maybe it's just I said about plum. It's got a bitterness, a little bit of bite on the back end. Yeah, it's all about those dark roasted flavours, that burnt toast kind of note going on. Oh, excuse me. It's not particularly fizzy, but I'm washing it back. The first one was much more carbonated, obviously, but yeah, it is nice. It is my thing. Really interested to look at something else from Treens. Oh, what happened there? Dived out. Bear with me a second. Sorry, it's been a long day. It's been a long day. if you're new here, if you're watching after the event, his streams are usually much livelier. Smashing back a few beers. But yeah, like I say, I bodged this one together this morning, then went to work and didn't get a chance to set anything else up. So I'm just drinking today. Do let me know what you're drinking. Also in the comments afterwards, down below, you watch this stream whilst drinking. Did you bring any Cornish beers? If so, I'm. But I'm going to move swiftly on to the final beer of this session. Beer number 3, please. Oh, fucking hell. Technology. Big Finish, beer number 3. 4. A set of Cornish beers. One you possibly might expect, or certainly a brewery might expect. Being that haven't bought any Sonorstal. And other Cornish brewery, probably along the Cornish breweries, is Verdant. And it is Verdant, not Verdant. This one is a big one, a Big Finish. You don't see before Christmas. There are two of them, and I had them. But yeah, Verdant, as you say, won't see me going mad for putty this year, or any year, to be fair. I did have that one once. Yeah, I know. Horrific. Because it's not really my thing. Although that one I had before Christmas, the soft disco leisure reception was a perfectly drinkable IPA, and it was all right, but it wasn't one I'd rush out to. And Verdant for me, yeah, just bring heavy IPA after heavy IPA, hop heavy stuff, mostly worrying me. And as I said the other day on a Tuesday stream, I'd put Verdant in with those breweries, Beak, Track, and to a certain extent Baron. I don't tend to have Verdant very often for that reason, and I don't think I've had any of their stouts. Only, I don't know, just being a bit stubborn, really. But this one is a 10% cherry Imperial stout. Again, I picked it up just before Christmas. Just thought. So didn't I? Yes. Yeah, picked it up just before Christmas because I thought, I had to make up an order. I chucked a couple of random things on. I think it's because I was doing Christmas beer. I had that Braslou beer. It was Christmassy, and I picked a few other stuff up. So it's a cherry stout. I do quite like a cherry stout. Just talking about Black Forest Gatto. They don't call it Black Forest Gatto, but with a 10% with cherry, I'm thinking it might go a little bit that way. So let's crack it. And I'm not going to bosh this one down too quickly either. At 10%, don't mind the 10% one, but let's see. But yeah, nice, thick, fair gloopiness into the glass there. Obviously gone with a bowl-shaped glass. I tend to do for big Imperial stouts for no other reason. It looks good. Slight reddish, always pinkish tinge on there. Thank you, Mr. Wilson, for the reminder. I'm going to do the can balance on this one. Yeah, there we go. First time. Yes. Because it's fun. Fun is a very subjective term, but yeah, just like trying to do it really. Can't really see. There's a little bit of artwork on the side. I've just messed up that camera, so I'm just going to do it there. That's difficult to photograph in this light, but these seem pretty good. Let's see what we get out of that. Like check if they can actually focus properly. Definitely still need a new camera so I can do this properly. Best thing about his photographs is that that's his Technic 6 can in the background. There you go, much more in focus. Hey Steve, how you doing, sir? Thanks for popping in. I hope you're having a good week. I'm doing alright. Still injured. Still working far too hard. But I'm off effectively tomorrow, and I got a 10% cherry Imperial Stout to be getting on with. So yeah, I mustn't grumble, you know. Hope you're doing alright, buddy. Have a good one. Might see you around tomorrow. If you're about alive, maybe pop in if I can. Yeah, so 10% cherry Imperial Stout. Looks nice and dark and delicious with a lovely kind of dark tan head. Little bit of reddish tinge, maybe. Gonna have to clear the snozzer to have this one. I want to smell them cherries, so bear with me a second. Right, let's try this. Cheers. Definitely a little bit of roastiness, not really any fruitiness necessarily, but cheers. Very, very rare Verdant for me. Cheers. It's an Imperial Stout, all right? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, going back for more. I'm always really bubbly, creamy head on that one. Kind of helps. There's some kind of kirsch in there. Definitely got that spirity edge. No, I don't essentially try because you're not a cherry man, no. I'm big on the cherries, but I often get not disappointed, but a lot of beers with cherries in for me tend to go sour cherry, which I'm not really a fan of. When you've got all that cherry flavour, have a nice sweet juicy cherry and put it in a beer and go chocolate gatto with it, you know. For me, this one's got that kind of cakiness going on, but it doesn't really taste like chocolate gatto particularly. It's got a good roasty malt flavour to it, but not over the top. Those cherries come in, kind of fruitiness. They're not particularly sour. There's a little slight tart note to it. Yeah, just kind of, just kind of rounds out that kind of roasty note with a little bit of dark fruit. Definitely cherry. And yet my biased palate says, I don't want to say this, it's not the best. It's good. It definitely hits all the right notes. Maybe I'm just a grumpy old man these days, like I said the other day, but yeah. It's not out and out massive cherry. There's, like I say, a dark fruit note, a kind of juiciness, and a sort of Kirsch kind of spirity edge. Talking a lot about cherries at the moment at the brewery. Sort of cherry blossom is out. I would say it's a delicate cherry flavour. It's definitely noticeable in there. I played Grumpy. I did actually play in my school play. I did play Grumpy the Dwarf once. I was quite good at it. I thought I enjoyed that. I did play Grumpy the Dwarf. Funny enough, there's a story from back in the day that does not beer. It's not beer relevant, but yeah, I did play Grumpy the Dwarf once. But that is a very good punchline. Obviously really sweet. It was a slight. I got three cherry trees that grew in my garden wild, and I thought, oh, brilliant, loads of cherries. You pick them, and they got that kind of bittery stone kind of bitterness, cherry stone bitterness to it, and they were not good. So I'm gonna have to get rid of them. This has got that slight kind of woody bitterness, that kind of getting more in kind of peach and nectarine stones when you actually accidentally lick that tanniny bitterness. So this is a slight bitterness on the back edge, so it's not fully sweet black cherry note, but plenty of lacing on the glass, plenty of slight alcohol legs there. Certainly a good Imperial Stout. And for saying that, it's all kind of balanced. It all sits there. It's just maybe slightly peaks on those notes of slight bitterness. It definitely says sour cherry. Imperial Stout with sour cherry. So it's more slightly bitter than sour. There's no, like, sour stouts just don't work for me. There is a couple of people who've tried it, but you put a sour cherry in a stout, I want it to be sweet cherry. So it is noticeable, but it's not pulling me away from the Imperial Stout particularly. Penryn, of course, intruded at Verdant are. See, bottom of can. All right then. Oh fuck! There's a little drip left. It's dripped on my leg. Can 6th of November 25. Best before the 4th of the 11th 2027. So the second dark beer for 27. So I didn't need to drink it right now, but I wanted to get it done. It says, for some reason, they put a message on the bottom, and I don't know what this means. It says Cherryman. So I think they've got a beer called Don't Fear the Ferryman, and this is a kind of riff on that. It's a very scary guy on the front. It's very Peaky Blinders. I am addicted to the darkness between worlds. Who is? What? No other real information on that. So, you know. But yeah, that's Verdant. It's not one I want to rush. It's there is definitely a velvety, decadent kind of smoothness in there, but that slight rough bitterness on the edge balances that out and brings it out itself. The cherry is a good flavour. Cherry's nice. It's not overpowering. I don't know. I think all that big sweetness from the dark malts, the chocolate malts, black malt, whatever there's, is well balanced to that cherry, that sour cherry, which makes it feel much more like black cherry and kind of glacier cherry sweetness. and it's definitely very, very smooth. It's kind of kirsch, kind of, it's like cherry brandy kind of edge. I don't know. Is it my favourite of the three? Probably that's predisposed to be so, but it's still not. It's not the best Imperial Stout, but it's the best I've got in front of me. It's one that's going to take me the rest of the evening to finish. But I've got to go upstairs and play darts. Haven't got to. I'm choosing to. But there's people waiting for me. I've just seen the link. So yeah, Thursday night is Zoom darts night. I do try to sometimes get a stream in. I realise I haven't done a stream this year on Thursday Tipple. I used to stick in Mondays and Tuesdays, but that's just, Oh, I realised I'm missing one. There you go. Sorry, Mason. I didn't mean to cut you out of the picture there. Yeah, so quite a short stream. I'm going to try and keep it short because I'm going to go upstairs and finish this one. I was trying to throw darts at the board. That'd be fun. It's a big beer. It's a rare foray into Verdant. Like I say, Tuesday stream was a very rare foray into trendy craft beers. And one I didn't massively enjoy. These have been okay. A really good look at something a little bit different. Something, well, I don't know. Have you heard of any of these breweries? Obviously, you've heard of Verdant. If you have, check them out. It's, I love finding smaller breweries that aren't necessarily on that riding that craft wave, that trendy hype train business. Something a bit different. And then there's Verdant. But this is something different from Verdant. I wouldn't expect maybe so much. But yeah, a really nice beer, to be fair, at the end of the day. Yeah, so thanks for watching. Sorry it's been such a badly chaotic show because I haven't really planned it or done anything other than just drink beers. But if you are new here, do click the like and subscribe button down the bottom there somewhere, or wherever it is on your device, because it doesn't cost you anything. And yeah, YouTube love it apparently, so I'm told. And I'd really appreciate it. It'd be lovely. And if you're watching after the event, after the live, thanks to everybody who's watching live. But if you're watching after the live, do comment below as well. Let me know which of these breweries you've heard of, or maybe you've tried. And any other Cornish breweries you want me to try, because now I've got a place to try and get Cornish beers. I've got a bunch of, like I say, those Mason ones to come up. Definitely that Black Forest Stout is coming up soon, hopefully. And yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to get anything else out. Like I say, I'm going to try and do some Weatherspoon stuff tomorrow, but that'll probably be posted on Instagram, or whether I get a video together or not, because I'm so far behind with getting videos out. But yeah, if not, it'll probably be back. I might do something Sunday, because I don't think I work at Sunday, so if I get a chance, I'll get some stouts on Sunday maybe, I think, and then lots of stuff, loads of stuff coming up. Still far too many beers in the stash, so yeah. If I don't see you before, see you next time here on Just Disco Beer Review, either live or on a video. I've been Disco. You've been fantastic for dropping likes, comments and stuff. We will see you again soon. I'm off to play Zoom darts. Cheers and enjoy the beers. And I have got an outro. Got to do the outro. Hold on. Wherever the outro is. Here it is. Cheers and enjoy the beers.